Hello peoples of the interwebs, my name is Razeor and welcome back to KSP. Today we're going to the sun, but not before I decide to drop my solid fuel and kill two of my engines. Yup, I'm a clever bunny. Right, there's the second launch of this rocket. So it's 2 attempts, I haven't even left the atmosphere yet, so that's brilliant. I'm really showing off my KSP skill here. So then it's also slightly off in terms of symmetry as well. So to get into the sun's orbit, I decided to use the moon to fire myself across using gravity, that wondrous property that brings us falling and broken legs. So while we're flying below the moon, we decide to do some science, like EVA reports, and I think I use one of my mystery goo containers here. And then we just use the gravity assist to just warp into this orbit of the sun. Then we just, yeah, had some weird effects there. So then, while we were in the orbit of the sun, we did some more science, like all that kind of sciencey goodness, goodness stuff and goodness things that were good and sciencey. So I am plotting my Kerbin encounter to take us back into the atmosphere, but this thing just goes terribly wrong. I run out of electricity, which means I can't turn my engine on, which basically means I was doomed to sit there forever, and just eventually, while Jebediah lives out his old age, so he's like 83, no, that doesn't actually end up happening. What I actually do is I do something a lot easier, which is revert time to a previous point and launch the mission again. Yeah, you don't see NASA doing stuff like that, which makes me better, yeah? No, it doesn't. So yeah, this thing just goes terribly wrong and makes it impossible to get back into Kerbin orbit. Not the best thing ever. So the next attempt, I covered the entire thing in batteries, which had the positive effect of making it look like a Christmas tree, which gave me an idea for a Christmas special. I might be using it, I'm not sure yet. So there we are, plotting the Lunar assist, and there we are burning for the Lunar assist, and there's the sun, which looks pretty and stuff, and things and stuff, and there. It's a sun, don't look at it, especially don't touch it. You heard it here first. So there we go, doing some science, and doing some EVA reports, while falling out of the ship. This is because we stepped on a battery. However, because we have MechJeb installed now, which can like take control of the ship, it's kind of like a little autopilot thing, but I won't be using it for much autopilotness, I'll be doing most of it myself. So then we started burning to get ourselves back to Kerbin, because that was all good and stuff and things. I mean, we got a ridiculous amount of science, so we want to take it back, yeah? So this time I learned from my previous mistakes and kind of burned off the engine and then turned on the LV909, which meant we had the engine on so it can return into Kerbin's atmosphere. But the problem was here that eventually, when I ran out of power, I was then unable to... It was... Basically, it put myself into a spin, and I then couldn't line myself up properly, which meant that I was just, again, spinning. Which means it was pretty difficult to get my... Yeah, here we go. That's the spin that ended up happening, which was kind of bad. So then I just tried to... Yeah, what I did is I stuck myself a maneuver node, and then when I was on the right side of the nav ball for the maneuver node, I burnt as hard as I could, and then stopped, and then burnt as hard as I could. This took quite a while, but I did eventually get back into the atmosphere, which allowed us to return, because again I had turned the parachutes on while I had burned off the last stage of the electricity producing engine. So there we are, just burning in, and then we're coming into the atmosphere now. We had some pretty vigorous re-entry effects, as you're about to see. I think they start to come roughly around now-ish. Yeah, I think, yep. So there we are, we start turning off things. For some reason I still had the MechJeb on, even though we didn't have any power. So there we are, burning our way into the atmosphere. Jeb really enjoys this, as he's decided not to quit several times. So there we are, burning through the atmosphere like a speeding bullet. I mean, the bullets have speed limits? They do. But anyway, there we are, returning into the water, where we do some trampolining, because why not? After we do the trampolining, it makes it very difficult to recover the vessel, but we do actually manage to do that. So, with that science, I was able to unlock docking and things, so I reckon next time we're going to be building a space station in Kerbin orbit, so that'll be fun, won't it? So until then, ta-ra.